Hello, UNIV. All right, today's video is going to be how to read an IEP at a glance and a 504. These are papers that you're going to get after every meeting. If you do not receive it from me or my teammates, reach out to us, say, hey, I didn't get the copy of the 504 IEP. I'll make sure we get that to you. So let me go ahead and go through these. The first one I'm going to go over is a 504. 504s are more simple. And if you don't understand the difference between an IEP and a 504, please go to Paradise Pros. There is an article there kind of separating the two and giving you a better idea of what each one is. So 504, you're going to get like a single page, maybe it'll be double. I did take, this is a student's, but I did white out over every single piece of information of the child that would be pertinent so I don't give the child's information away. But at the beginning, it'll say the student's name, their grade, what school, the date we did the meeting, and the school ID. It does a few other little things. And actually, these are longer than what you guys will receive. There's actually more pages to this, but what you need is this. And this is their accommodations. That's going to be the big one for you guys. What the accommodations for a 504 student. They don't have goals. They don't get pulled out working with the ESC team. They just have support within the classroom with accommodations. So this is your only thing you need to worry about on 504s. So the classroom, close proximity, small group of 4 to 10 when introducing new concepts for this child. Time and a half for the assessments or testing. Redirection as needed for testing, and small group of 11 to 16 for testing. So again, going back to our ESC binder video, if you've not watched that, I go over kind of what to do with those and how to mark those in your data charts. And then I also have an article. There's 3 articles about accommodations. So if you're not sure what these accommodations are, go back to those articles in Paradise Pros. There's 3 of them. Accommodation accuracy, explanation, implementation, and documentation. So yeah, I got all fancy, called them all the same. So those 3 articles are going to help you with reading the actual accommodations. Now, for the IEP at a glance, they're a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. This is our new system one. It's a little nicer the way they look. Some of you that have been in the program for a while or been in teaching a while, especially with Broward, I'll show you what the old one looks like because you may get a few kids that have the old one still. But by the end of this year, all of them will look like this. By the end of 2023, 22-23 school year, they'll all look like this. But basically, it's going to give you the information. This is a transitional one, but just more for our kids that are ages 12 and up. So if you're a middle school teacher, yours is going to look more like this. It may look a little different for the lower grades, but it's going to have the child's information, their strengths, their weaknesses, in the different areas. Curriculum and instruction. This is going to be helpful for you to look at because the teacher previous gave all this information. They helped give you all the scores and the data. Remember, and the teacher feedback form video that I go over the teacher feedback form that we need to get from you every time we do an IEP meeting. That information is what gets embedded into this. So as the new teacher, when you get this, you get last year's teacher's feedback. You get to know what's going on with kids. That's why it's so important because it helps us move through the years with the students. And it goes through all their strengths, their weaknesses, different assessments. It also has their goals that they're working on with the ESC teachers. That's helpful for you to know because you may come up to me and say, oh man, so-and-so is struggling with, Johnny is struggling with reading comprehension. Well, when you go back and you look on the IEP at a glance, well, you see the ESC team is working on comprehension. So we are aware of that. Thank you for your help. It talks about special considerations if there's any healthcare issues. That will be on there. Kiddos that have other health impairments. So they may have seizures or the child may have what am I looking for? Allergies, or the child may have ADHD, something like that. That information will be in there. And then it has servicing. So if your student is getting pulled out, or if your student needs somebody pushing in, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ESC and RTI and ELL teachers do push into the classroom. So be aware of that when you're setting your classrooms up, that you have a space for them to sit. If a child needs the ESC teacher to be pushed in and maybe working with small groups to not make the child feel so self-conscious, especially our middle school kids, they start to notice, hey, why does this kid have somebody else coming in and working with them? Sometimes we'll put them in small groups with the ESC teacher. So kind of keep that in mind. Collaborate with the ESC teacher, collaborate with the student to find out what's going to be the best fit. But this way you at least know, oh, okay, he's going to get pulled 90 minutes for reading and 60 minutes of math every week. So I need to be aware of that when I'm making my lesson plans, that sometimes I have to go back and reteach skills for our students. And it also has, okay, where it says supplementary aids and services. That is the term we use, that they use now for accommodation. So if it says supplementary aids and services, that's your accommodations. You'll see it say 5 times a day or 5 times a week or 5 times one of those. Okay. But that is where your accommodations are. That's where you're going to find that information that goes onto your data sheets. That is in your ESC binder. See how this all ties together. See, look at there. Nice, smooth, easy packaging. All right. And then you'll see special education services, and you may see related services as well. All right. The related services are for kiddos who are needing OT or counseling. Those are related services. Sometimes you'll see speech or language on as related if a child is autistic. You'll see language as a related service. Those are servicings that they get pulled for as well. So be aware of that. And then they have a section for testing accommodations. So when we do the FAST testing, starting this year, 2022-23, those are the accommodations they will be receiving for the FAST. Okay? Pretty easy. My suggestion would be, if you look through it and you go, I really don't know what I'm looking at and where do I find my accommodations? I still am not sure. Reach out to me, reach out to the team. We will be more than willing to help you out. Now, like I said, some of you will see, especially the first part of the year of 2022 year, so August to December, you're going to see an older format. It's not as pretty, y'all. So they've redone it, made it look a little nicer. But we started in January with the new system of last year. So those that are up to December, you're going to still see some older looking IEPs. Same concept. It's got all the data. It's got the IEP goals, supplemental aids, which is your accommodations, and then testing information as well. So similar layout. I think they give a little bit more information on the new ones, which I think is nice for the teachers, because when you guys are trying to figure out who the child is, especially at the beginning of the year, and you're trying to put together your lesson plans, it's nice to have a little bit better holistic data on the child from the last year or the year before. All right. So if you have any questions, again, reach out to the team. We're always here to help you guys. As always, go Lions!